Hello, hi, what's up? It's me, Soph. Ta-da! Today we are gonna do a book tag. Yes. I did one tag before, it was the newbie tag. If you wanna watch that, but finish this video first. So I thought that, I should maybe do another tag, because sometimes that could be good. So we're gonna do the international book tag today. So grab your snack, coffee, tea, whatever. Let's just chill and listen to all my jabbing about me being international. Wow! Question number 1. And I'm gonna read it from my phone here, so don't mind me looking at the screen sometimes, okay? Where are you from and what is your native language or languages? I am from Sweden. You can see in the backdrop here, we got the IKEA cup. Love Sweden. I am Swedish person. You can probably hear it in my speech. And what are my languages? Native languages? Swedish. I speak English and Swedish. Very, 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 very limited Japanese. Studies on Japanese, but incredibly rusty. So English and Swedish. Swedish native language. Yes. Okay, next question. In what languages do you read books? Both. Why not both? I read it in English and in Swedish. Normally, I always go for the English option first, just because, I don't know, I watch a lot of English-speaking media, and because I do that, I normally get to know the title of like the books or the media in English. So like the thought doesn't register that there is probably a Swedish translation of it. I always go for the English option first, but otherwise I go for the Swedish ones. But like 9 out of 10 is English and then it's a Swedish one. So it's a rarity for sure. And yeah, it's cool with languages and how they are written and how they are used. I feel like I get a little bit of a different interpretation when I'm reading English books compared to Swedish books. Like how the languages is or how it's sounding. For example, very much newbie in Japanese, but I love Japanese. Oh my god. It's such a pretty language. It sounds so smooth, it's so beautiful. It has all these rules, which is kind of pain in the ass, but also kind of incredible. Just by the phrase that person is using, you can figure out kind of in what age demographic they are in. So instead of, like, let's say you're reading a book and they are introducing characters for you, and this character speaks, and just by how they speak or how it's written, you can kind of get an image in your head that they are an old man or something, without even describing that they are an old man. I think that's so cool. But we don't have that in Swedish or English. But but the point is, different languages can make such a big difference when you're reading media, and that's so freaking cool, Oh. So anyway, a little nugget for you guys. Question number 3. Is there a booktube in your native language? And if so, what is the community like? Oh, I don't know. Me being active on communities, very bad. Extremely bad. So bad. I'm definitely an INFJ personality type girly. I do reach out to people at times and talk about books and books I'm interested in and stuff. But, I tap my toe, then I go back. I'm not so active in any community, unless you're talking about the best TV show of all time, which is Community with Troy and Abed in the morning. But no, I'm just very much an observer. I don't really know any like book community stuff. I'm not really so active in any like Reddit or any that stuff, Flashback. I don't do that stuff. But more power to you that do that stuff. So answer to that question, no. Sorry. And yeah, I don't know how the community is like. But I think that the book community is pretty chill. I grew up playing video games, okay? I'm a gamer. Ex-gamer. Gamers can get pretty heated about stuff. One of them, I'm an Irish gamer. And I feel like books, people still can get heated about books and movies also, because it's a media format, it's telling you something. But I feel like book people are pretty chill and laid back and kind of down-to-earthy stuff. But anyways, I don't know. I'm not really active in any book community, so take that with a grain of salt. Okay, question number 4. Is there a booktube community in your native language? Why did you decide to join the international one? Once again, I don't know. I don't know. I just wanted to be on a platform like YouTube. I think YouTube is awesome. I've been watching YouTube for the longest time. Once again, very much an observer, watcher, not really the person who puts stuff out on YouTube. But I think it's really neat to watch other people talk about books and their interpretation about it. And also, once again, like with the language stuff or how stuff is written, or even like speculating about, philosophy thinking, put that Epictetus in, Epictetus brain, Stoicism's brain. I love thinking about that stuff and discussing that stuff. I guess discussing it in my brain. But I think that was just so cool to expand that, and also to put my imprint on this and share my voice. So yeah, I'm sorry for the vague answer. Question number 5. Are there any struggles or challenges for you as a non-native English speaker? Yes, I would say yes. I feel like I'm pretty fluent, but you guys can probably tell sometimes when I'm recording and I do blub 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 or say the words a bit wrong. Even when I'm reading, sometimes there are some words that I'm like, what is that? What is it? But I wouldn't say that it's a big hurdle. It's not too bad, to be honest. It doesn't happen too much. But that can even happen in Swedish, that they pull out some like really old phrase that I never heard or something, and I'm like, huh? I'm a 90s girly, growing up with that Backstreet Boys and Nintendo 64. Like, we're all limited to when we grew up, kind of like the year, but also, of course, it's what you reach out for and that stuff. I feel like I reach out to a lot of entertainment stuff, and therefore I might be not as well versatile on different words or languages or old writing maybe. But I think it's really neat with that stuff. Heck, I love The Lighthouse, that movie. And that is just really old, like sailor talking stuff. And so much stuff like I wouldn't understand. Oops, I'm sorry, I bumped the mic. I'm sorry. so old, wonky language, but it's so cool. So anyways, rambling. Question number 6. How do you get a hold of English books? The library. Libby. We know. We love Libby. Otherwise, if I'm not reading on the iPad, I'm loaning the books at the library, physical books, or audiobooks by the library. I do prefer to have a physical book in my hand. I know I sound so old school, but I do like that. But if that's not available to me, I go to ebook. And then if that's not available to me, I go to audiobook. Yes. When I got into reading more, I started out reading ebooks, and I think that's a great way in when you want to get into reading more, because it's so accessible and easy to use. If you have like an iPad or whatever, you know, it's just on the go. But there is something with holding a physical book. I don't know how to describe it, but it feels like I achieve something more reading a book. I feel like I take more time with it. With the ebook, you just flip through the pages like bam, 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 bam. Effective. But with a book, a physical book, I feel like I take my time and flip through the pages more. I give it more love. So I prefer physical book. And then also, of course, I buy some books sometimes. I'm not a big collector by any means. You could either, you know, be a book collector or a reader. And I wouldn't say that I'm a book collector by any means. That's not a hobby of mine. But I do have books. I mean, you guys can see I got some stuff here and some other stuff. But very limited with books. I normally buy books nowadays that I know that I really like, or I really like that artist's work or whatever, and therefore I buy it. Space, money, and time. I prefer to loan the books from the library. And if it's something that I really enjoyed, like that was such a good book, I might buy it. Might, but that's a big might. Going to secondhand bookstores, you know, getting those cool deals. Something I love to do is, if I'm traveling, is to read. That's always been a thing, to bring books and read. But also, when I'm traveling, I feel like I have an excuse to buy books. I'm like, well, I'm in the US, so therefore I can buy this book or whatever. I might not find it in Sweden. I like buying books more when I'm traveling than if I'm at home. I don't feel like I want to do that as much. But if I'm traveling, I like to do that. And it feels more like, because I am at that place and having that experience and creating like a memory of it. Going to the store, buying a book and being outside and creating a vacation memory, basically. So therefore, I like to buy books more when I'm outseas, when I'm traveling, when I'm on trips, that stuff. Because I'm like, might as well, YOLO, I saved it money, you know. Next question. What's the best thing about being a part of the international community? I mean, once again, I really like being able to express what I think about books and also listen to other people that talks about books. And it's really cool because English language. Yes, emu reference there. What's so cool speaking English is that you can communicate with so many people and find so many people on the webs or outside or whatever. And because people are living in so many different countries or so many different places, their perspective of like a book might change because how the culture is there compared to how the culture is here. So that can create a very cool like dynamic. Of course, a book is a book, and sometimes it's just straight facts and sometimes it's not. But still, our own minds, we're a little bit different wired, all of us, depending on where we are, where we live, you know? So I think that's really cool with the international thing. You can find so many different cultures and just how broad everything is. It's big. It's big. Okay, question number 8. Do you watch other international booktuber channels? Shout out what channel you found recently. So I really like a channel called Carrie Can Read. They read mostly fantasy books, which, you know, I'm not the biggest fan of the fantasy books. But I really like how they describe books, talk about books. It's very I think it's very brief, easy to get into. They also got really deep dive stuff if you in certain series. And that's are quite funny, to be honest. That's my going into fantasy. Maybe I'm not reading the book, but I'm watching a video of the fantasy book, freaking deep dives and that stuff. This is the entire plot of da 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 da, so you don't have to read da 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 da. Those ones. But yeah, Carrie Can Read. I think their content is really fun and cool and just easy to get into, and it's cool to hear them talk about books. I like that, and also how they humanizes or tell you that it's okay to put a book down. You don't have to finish a book. You should read whatever you want to read. You don't have to feel forced about reading X amount and that stuff, and that feels very nice. So Carrie Can Read for sure. Made Book Club, I think is pretty neat. Found their stuff recently. Very calm, going through the books, reading stuff. I think it's pretty cool to listen to. Some of the books that they have read are some books that I really, really love or are gonna read. So I think they seems to have a really kind community, which is cool. And just talking about books and stuff. I don't know. I like it. That's all. It feels very chill and funny videos. I really enjoy Willow Talks About Books, another booktuber creator. They are really good about talking about books, describing them without giving too much away, in my opinion. They have such a big alphabetic language. It sounds so effortless when they are describing these books and also the themes and that stuff. And I really enjoy their work. It sounds very and it feels very thought out. Their book videos. I really enjoy Willow Talks Books. Willow Talks Books. Yes. That's all the international questions. Did I do it? Did I do it right? Oh my god. And forever who wanna do this tag, you're it. Wow. If you wanna. Wow. This is my international book tag, and I hope you guys enjoyed this schnazzle, and I will see you guys with more awesome book videos and all the other jams in the future. If you like this format or this video, please do the likes and the subscribe. It helps me out a bunch. Otherwise, I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you for making it all the way to the end, and take care. Have a great day. Okay. Bye-bye.